Hi guys, it's album review time. We've got Robin McAuley and Alive. This album's coming out February the 17th on Frontiers, 11 tracks long, 44 minutes and 13 seconds long. Standing on the Edge was the last album 2 years ago from Robin McAuley, solo album. He's a busy guy, obviously in other projects, but solo material, Standing on the Edge was the last album. A great album, AOR with hints of melodic hard rock. Of course, he's done Black Swan since then as well, which is a great album last year. So like I said, busy man. This album's produced by Alessandro Del Vecchio, who puts his hand to many of the Frontiers releases. I've got to say, this is a real good sounding album. Del Vecchio's got the most out of the guitars on this. They're chuggy, they're crunchy. The album is heavier in general though, definitely heavier than the last album, and it's all the better for it, I think. So yeah, guitar driven, loads of chugging, loads of riffing, and technically amazing, especially guitar wise. Loving the guitar work on this album. The guy's called Andrea Saveso. I think he was on the last album, but I think he exceeds that album with this playing on this. Man, there's some great playing all over this guitar. This is a real one for guitar freaks, this one. Absolutely loving the guitar sound as well. I think he's got a great tone, and it's really ramped up the heaviness on this, especially compared to the last album. It's got those Dokken vibes again on this album. Some, not so much maybe as the last album, but definitely some Dokken vibes again, which I felt on the last album, Standing on the Edge. Of course, Robin McAuley's vocals, man. I mean, it sounds like he's getting better. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous the way his voice is. I go on about his vocals, and you know, they're so strong, and like I said, he's so busy as well, and man, he just, you know, his vocal ability is just unbelievable. It really is. Del Vecchio also does bass and keys on this. Like I said, he's more guitar driven, but there's plenty of keys in this, but the guitars are ramped up. And Nicholas Papaccio on the drums. So along with Del Vecchio, a great rhythm section, really experienced there as well. It sounds great. This album really does sound great. So we kick off with the title track, Alive, the first single. You can feel that heavier feel immediately, crunchy guitar riffs. This is a medium pace song, slightly modern feel in the verses as well. I noticed that. I think we're Standing on the Edge, it was more of a heyday probably to the 80s more than this album, although there's plenty of that in here with melodic rock, 80s style, but I think it's mixed really well with some modern stuff as well. Huge sounding chorus on Alive, what we come to expect, I suppose, from anything Robin McAuley sings on. Great guitar work here, crunchy riffs to squealing sort of lead melodies, just amazing stuff. Dead as a Bone is next. Those Dokken-esque guitar parts are really prevalent here. Played so well on that previous album, and even more so here. Chuggy, crunchy feels again, with really intricate, picky guitar sort of screams and that throughout. It's another heavy track that sort of sets the album up perfectly. Melody never forsaken though. Bless Me Father is next. Those verses are great. Gone from clean sort of strumming guitars, and when that crunchy guitar hits in again and chugs, it's great stuff. There's another great Soaring chorus that's really sort of sing-along. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Feel Like Hell, the second single, is next. Again, this has got a great sort of modern touch to it, almost melodic metal feels at times on this one. Another huge catchy chorus, brings those melodic rock influences back into the fold here. A stomping track. Can't Go On is another track. Things slow down with this song. So you get real heaviness probably for about 4 songs. Then on the 5th one, this one, it slows down a little bit. Acoustic guitar sort of entwined with electric guitar in this great ballad. Orchestral touches as well help the sort of epic feel of this track. It's a great song. The Endless Mile is the next one I want to talk about. I can imagine this track on the last Black Swan album. It sort of give me those feels. It would fit perfectly, actually. Those driving rhythms delivering a great track. A bit of a darker track, I would say, on offer here. My Only Son is the 8th track. Is the next one I want to talk about. Great picky, Lynch-esque guitar parts throughout this. And that riff in the verse is absolutely amazing. You would sort of find that on a, I don't know, talk about Dokken again, maybe on the Back for the Attack album, something like that. A great galloping track that, again, has a slightly dark edge to it. When the Time Has Come is next. This is a great track. I mean, there's some brilliant tracks on this. This is a really good one. What a riff straight out of the gate. I mean, again, I am going to say there's slight influence, I think, from Dokken. But if Dokken were to do this song now, I think it would blow Dokken fans away. It's Dokken at their best, at their most classic, if you know what I mean. This one fits in more with the heavier parts of Standing on the Edge, I would say. Great crunchy riffs over a running bass line and another great soaring chorus. Stronger Than Before, maybe one of my favourite tracks on the album at the moment. A great heavy riff mixed with ultra chugging guitars, a brilliant catchy bridge to the chorus, and then maybe my favourite chorus of the album as well. And there's some fucking great choruses on this album. Who I Am is track 11, the last track. This album closes the way it opens. Crunchy, heavy, melodic as hell. Again, I can feel those Dokken vibes coming through. I don't know if it's on purpose. I don't know if it's the guitarist. But, I mean, I miss Dokken and the way they were. So this is great for me. It reminds me a little bit of Just Got Lucky, actually, the Dokken song from Tooth and Nail. An excellent closer in fitting with the rest of the album. This is a really good album by Robin McAuley. I think it is much better than Standing on the Edge, although that was a great album as well. It's heavy, it's crunchy, it's a little bit darker than the last album for sure. I think it's going to give people exactly what they want from Robin McAuley album. And let's just not forget, I've got to say one more thing about his vocals, man. They just blow me away. Every time he opens his mouth and sings, it's one of those wonders of the vocalists out of the 80s. Just amazing stuff. Let me know if you're going to get this, guys. This was a live Robin McAuley album review. Let me know what you think of the single so far and if you're going to get it on February the 17th. I'll see you soon.